So when I was at school, I still felt that after I left, the people who were still at school, like they were still more or less the same kind of people as I was. Like they still had the same kind of experience in school that I did. But I look back at school now, and obviously I'm a bit older. I've left university, and it's actually been quite a long time since I was at school now. And I actually feel like the world has changed so much in that time that life as a teenager must just be so different now to how it was when I was there, such that I don't really feel like we're the same generation anymore. I mean, I guess we are, like we're all Gen Z or whatever. But I don't know, there's just something different about the sort of experience of being a teenager now than how it was, I think, in my day. I just see like a lot of like teenage entrepreneurs, like people who are like 14 and they're starting a YouTube channel or starting a Shopify business, something like that. I just think like your life growing up must have had to be so different for you to decide at 14 to want to start a Shopify business. And I don't really know what that is. I feel like COVID's obviously a massive thing. I feel like Tate is a massive thing. That's just really radically changed how like young teenagers think about the world and think about what's important. But I just think, this is a big deal, correct me if I'm wrong, but I just get this general sense that teenagers now, like they're very focused on like kind of what I am, like entrepreneurship, things like that, and sort of starting a YouTube channel, starting some kind of online business, stuff like that. They want to be kind of, they want to make money online. They want to be very successful, and a lot of them aren't very interested in like social life and like partying and stuff like that. Just that's the vibe I get. Like I see these guys on YouTube who are like I said, literally 15, and they're on monk mode and they're grinding out a YouTube channel, and that's just crazy to me, and I don't know if it's a good thing. And it's funny because in a sense, like, you want to give encouragement to this kind of stuff, but I just don't know if I can. And the reason for that is it's got nothing to do with like where these guys are going to be successful. Like honestly, I think if you're 15 and you're thinking about you're actively putting so much effort into starting an online business, like you're going to be very successful. Like there's no doubt about that. So I'm not discouraging it because I don't think it's going to work. Like it's definitely going to work. These guys who are doing it at this age, like they're going to make lots of money doing it, because they just got a ridiculous amount of time. I mean, it's just off the scale how much you could do if you start doing that kind of stuff when you're that age. But my problem more with it is like, this has never happened before. This has never happened where young people have just been so willing to deny themselves of pleasure and like social interaction and sort of that kind of teenage experience of like going out, trying to talk to girls and stuff like that. And, we don't know what that's going to be, what these kids are going to become, what it's going to be like, what impact that's going to have in the long run, if they're denying themselves this like thing of being sociable, partying, stuff like that at that age, to like grow an online business. And you might say it's better than what they're doing anyway, which is like just going on whatever Fortnite or like just playing video games basically, or being inside all the time. And I get that, but I don't know. There's something I'm very worried about with this lack of focus that we have on socialising. And I just think, having been there myself, I've really gone extreme on monk modes. And and just really got rid of everything in my social life and stuff like that. Like, I don't think it's a good thing. I don't think it does good things to you. And I'm really trying to rectify those mistakes now. And, you know, that was me when I was like 22, and I had already had like 3 years of being really sociable, and then I suddenly stopped socialising, and for like a year, and you know, even that still had an impact on me. But God knows what impact it has on you when you're 15. Now, you know, I might be overestimating it. It might have no effect whatsoever, and these guys might turn out to be really great. But my point is, we just don't know. Because people have never done this before. Like, obviously, in the past eras, like, kids had to work really long hours, you know, to you know, make money and a living and stuff like that. So I'm not saying it's the first time that, you know, teenagers have been motivated to work really hard. But it's a different kind of work, this kind of modern work, where you're on your laptop and you're very independent, you know, and you're kind of on monk mode and stuff like that. It's very different to like what people were doing before, where it was like, you know, you're working in the farms or in a factory or something like that. I'm not saying any of that's necessarily like great welfare standards or whatever, but I don't know, I just don't have a good feeling about denying yourself so much socialising. And, you know, the reason why I'm talking about this is because I've been doing a lot of journaling about all this stuff recently, and I just think the big mistake, the kink in the armour of self-improvement, I think, is that ultimately it just compromises socialising like a little bit too much. And, you know, you can kind of, people try and talk the way around it, like a lot of these self-improvement gurus, but fundamentally at some point they come along the line and they say, you've got to sacrifice a lot of socialising to have the self-improvement lifestyle. And it's just like, yeah, I just don't think it's a good thing. And I look at all these videos of like, you know, Hamza, First Man, whatever, Tate to some extent as well, like talking about, oh, you know, forego your social life when you're young and reap the benefits later. And it's like, I look at them and I'm like, they all had like a massive social life when they were younger, you know, like Hamza, when he was like 18, like he was not on monk mode, you know, like he was at university, trying to get with girls, you know, going out clubbing, doing all the the degenerate stuff as he calls it. And same with First Man, you know, like he talks about it a bit less, but he was clearly like a bit of a party boy, you know, had quite a lot of girlfriends and stuff, was going out every weekend and stuff like that. You know, Tate, Hormozy, you know, all these people, they had some kind of like party era, and it's easy to like in retrospect go like, oh, that was a waste of time, but you don't know that, and I think we're just way too fickle to like be like, oh yeah, just get rid of that, you don't need it, you know. And I just think self-improvement in general, we're too keen to rush things as well, you know, we've got to have it all now, you know, the money, the body, you know, whatever, and we're just too willing to take out sort of very natural things that have kind of been put there that slow us down a bit, like socialising. And I just, the more like I live life and like I think about this stuff and I journal my thoughts and sort of find out what I really think, rather than listen to some guy on YouTube tell me what to think, the more I realise like this whole self-improvement thing is just, it's going in a really long way. I mean, I know I'm literally like a self-improvement YouTuber, like I talk about self-improvement, but like the more I think about it, the more I realise like this is actually really bad. You know, what's going on here. I just don't think, I think it's all going to end in tears, to be honest. But yeah, there you go, guys. Thanks for watching. Click the top link in the description. Get onto my coaching at the moment. If you are interested, send me a message. It'd be great to hear from you. But anyway, apart from that, guys, it's been a pleasure.